Chancellor, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Board of Directors, and the entire city organization, it is truly my honor and pleasure to welcome you here today. Chancellor, I would like to personally thank you for joining us here today. Your presence is very much appreciated. When Sheikh Mansour asked me to take on this role as chairman, he gave me a word of warning. He told me that this would be a long-term project with many dimensions. So if I was going to take it on, there was a need to be committed for the long haul. With those words echoing, I have to tell you that today is not the end of the journey, rather an important staging point. The very first task Sheikh Mansour and I discussed was the need to create for the club an engine for the development and enhancement of talent, something that would truly differentiate the club as a leader in the world of football. So on day one, in September of 2008, the first conversation was about the creation of this place and what it should facilitate. The cornerstone for the future was a vision for youth development and sustainability, a vision to educate talented young footballers on and off the pitch, and to do so in a place supported by the best coaches and coaching programs. What followed was 6 years of due diligence, research, consultations, land acquisition, design, remediation, and finally, construction, with remarkable stories of commitment and passion all along the way. However, the ultimate goal was not to build the City Football Academy. It was to make that vision for youth development a reality. So today is not about celebrating the finish of something. Far from it. What we are celebrating today are the opportunities that we have created for ourselves in building this academy. The opportunities for us as an organization, for the community we serve, and for the boys and girls and young women and young men that will hopefully flourish as a result of their experiences here today. Over the last 6 years, our coaching teams have worked tirelessly to evolve the academy systems and capabilities that are now housed here. They have sought out the very best youth talent at home and, where appropriate, abroad. Their work resulted in our under 12, 14, and 18 teams all winning their respective championships last year. So the CFA is not important for what it is fundamentally important for what it will do now. We now have all our teams and expertise in one campus, from our under 8s to our elite development squad and to our first team. From the community clubs that practice and play here to our Continental Cup winning women's team, everyone has the same home. All of our coaching and support staff are here, as too is commercial, operational, and community staff. The real work begins now. Our approach is based firmly on the idea that if you invest in people and create platforms and opportunities for development and creativity, the returns are immeasurable and wide-ranging. We also recognized that the philosophy that we were going to apply at the running of the academy needed to be applied to the way it was built, through the same creation of opportunities and nurturing of talent. As a consequence, 70% of the workforce was drawn from Greater Manchester. 25% of our employees came from East Manchester. 80% of the project budget was spent in the Northwest, and 883 contracts were awarded to local companies. Significantly, 10% of the people on site were previously unemployed, and we were able to provide 34 work experience placements and employ 95 trainees and apprentices working towards qualification. We have built a campus of learning, so it was appropriate that more than 14,000 hours of training were provided to the people who worked on site. Our approach of investing in people is one of many things that we have in common with the Manchester City Council. And our relationship with the Council has been fundamental to this journey. Sir Richard Leese and Sir Howard Bernstein are here today, and I would like to pay very special thanks to their vision and passion for East Manchester, and to the collaborative spirit of engagement that they and the Council have created. The relationship between our organizations is based on common aims and mutual respect, and a shared appetite for positive change. It is at the heart of what has brought us here today. For East Manchester, our partnership has been of 80 acres of brownfield site remediated, the creation of 46 acres of managed grass, wildflower meadows, and landscape, and 2,000 new mature trees planted on site. That is truly transformative for this community, and the positive, regenerative impact that we both seek has been fundamental to our planning. We are part of East Manchester. We are part of the East Manchester community, and indeed the greater Manchester community, and we are very proud of it. That is why we have provided 5.5 acres of remediated land within CFA for the building of the Connell Sixth Form College and other community facilities. It is why we were more than pleased to contribute £3 million to the creation of the public swimming facilities in Beswick Village. To be of the community we represent, we must truly connect with it. Physically, that comes in the form of the bridge that links the campus with the Etihad Stadium complex. Equally impactful, but less obvious, are the 29 hours of academy pitch time that is provided each week to local colleges, the community, and the disability teams. And then there is the method by which this club truly represents its community on the field of play. How will what we have built guarantee the standard of that representation in the years to come? Well, of the 16 and a half state-of-the-art pitches on the campus, 12 and a half are dedicated to youth development. Our women's development, youth, and community teams all now have access to a 7,000 capacity academy stadium. They might experience the atmosphere of support that their hard work deserves. We now have more than 450 players training here every week. Of the academy players, 75% are drawn from the greater Manchester area. Importantly, we have 78 academy players studying at the Connell Sixth Form College, which forms an integral part of the Etihad campus. That's a number we are extremely proud of and one we intend to grow. As I said earlier, our real finish line is not the completion of the City Football Academy. Instead, it lies in several years' time, when we are graduating footballers who have experienced great personal development and who are equipped to go on doing so both on and off the field. With New York City Football Club, Melbourne City Football Club, and Yokohama Marinos, now all part of the City Football Group family, the City Football Academy and Etihad campus now takes on a global relevance and connectivity. Those teams and others look at the Etihad campus as a center of excellence, and in doing so, add to Manchester's claim to be at the center of the global football industry. This is an industry that touches 3.5 billion people, and one that will only grow and continue to grow. The global connectivity of our clubs and the Etihad campus, within which this facility and the Etihad Stadium sit, is cemented by our global partnership with Etihad Airways. It's a 6-year partnership that I would like to acknowledge here today. I thank Etihad's Chief Commercial Officer, Peter Baumgartner, for being with us here today. Peter, where is Peter? Peter, it is wholly appropriate that Etihad Avenue was unveiled today as the central thoroughfare of the Academy. It is symbolic of the road we have traveled together and will, I hope, continue to travel for many years to come. I have one last and very important acknowledgement, and that is of Tony Book for doing us the honor of officially opening this academy today. As the club's most decorated captain and a former manager, there is no one else better, both qualified or more appropriate for this task. Tony, you do us a great honor, and on behalf of Sheikh Mansour and all of us here today, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, you hear about the City family. I feel like an adopted member now, and it feels like a reality too. A family of people not just from Manchester, but from New York, Melbourne, and Japan too. But today, of course, I don't know if you noticed, there was a clue in the weather. We're in Manchester, understanding more about a very important Manchester story. Please welcome Sir Richard Leese, leader of Manchester City Council.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real delight to be here at this astonishing facility, and that's not just because I'm a City season card holder. It is a unique place. It's a place that supports elite football and the local community. Something that Khaldoon's already talked about, but worth repeating, it's the residents of East Manchester that have helped build what we see today. Jobs have been created for local people, new skills and training have helped unemployed people get those jobs, and young apprentices have worked on probably one of the most exciting projects of their careers. 70% of the workforce was from Greater Manchester, 25% from East Manchester. But it's perhaps worth putting that within the context of what used to be here. This used to be the industrial heartland of Manchester. Coal, power, steel, chemicals, engineering. Long gone, leaving a legacy of dereliction and deprivation. Over the last 15 years, Manchester City Council has worked with the community and with other partners, building the area back up with physical, economic and social regeneration. Since His Highness Sheikh Mansour became the owner of Manchester City Football Club, Manchester City, under Khaldoon's chairmanship, have been a premier partner in that regeneration journey. Sheikh Mansour promised not only a world-class football club, he also made that commitment, ongoing commitment to the community of East Manchester and that ongoing commitment to the regeneration of East Manchester. And City Council is very happy to thank Sheikh Mansour for keeping those promises, because that's what we see here today. Investment into the Etihad campus has been unprecedented. And now we celebrate the City Football Academy, which has turned that 80-acre former chemical works site into a valuable community asset. And I know the journey of transformation for East Manchester will continue. Khaldoon said this is a journey. We are close to the beginning of that journey, not the end of that journey. And with a valuable partner like His Highness Sheikh Mansour and Manchester City Football Club, we will continue to build and continue to make a community that is healthier and wealthier. What do we see? We see the community access to football pitches, The new leisure centre, including the swimming pool just across the road, a new sixth form college, which is already fully subscribed for its first full year beginning September this year, providing for the families in this part of the city the best facilities you can get anywhere. This derelict, deserted land is now flourishing, with 2,000 trees literally breathing new life and improving the neighbourhood's ecology. It is a remarkable change. And so it only leaves me to say thank you on behalf of the community here for investing in us, investing in East Manchester, investing in Manchester, working with us, helping us make this a better place to live, study, work, play and watch football. Thank you very much.
You heard earlier on what this means to the people of the region, and this project, this work has touched the lives of so many of them. It's a story for Manchester which has had a significant economic impact locally. In this context, it is fitting to announce our special guest. Please welcome to the stage the Right Honourable George Osborne, Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Well, thank you very much. And I remember coming to the Commonwealth Games and the brilliant stadium that had been built for the Commonwealth Games. But also remember, as so many people do, that it looked like it was just a lone building surrounded still by land that had required remediation, land that had once had great industry on it but didn't anymore. And coming today and seeing this facility, it has blown me away. I think it's an incredible job that everyone has done here to create this brilliant academy and training facility. I want to do a couple of things. First of all, as the Chancellor of the Exchequer, I want to thank the Abu Dhabi United Group. I want to thank Sheikh Mansour for their investment in the United Kingdom, across the whole of the United Kingdom. It is a massive vote of confidence, Khaldoon, in our country, in the ingenuity and aspirations that we have as a nation, to put behind us the economic difficulties of the past, and the fact that we know that you could go anywhere in the world and make your investment. You could literally choose any country to make your investments, and of course you do invest in Australia and the United States and elsewhere. But your biggest investments and your most exciting investments are right here in the United Kingdom, and that is a source of enormous pride of everyone here, and we thank you for that investment in the UK. I'm not a Member of Parliament for Manchester, I'm a Member of Parliament for Cheshire, so as a result I'm a Member of Parliament for most of the first team. And I want to say as a North West MP how particularly proud I am that you've chosen to make that investment in the UK here in Manchester. That is a tribute to your vision, but also to Richard, to Howard, to the City Council, to all the people I can see here who represent the Manchester community, that you've worked with this investment to create this incredible regeneration of East Manchester. And it is, of course, not just the football facilities, although they are at the heart of it all. It is also the schools, the leisure centre, the housing. Of course, this investment, this £50 million investment, I think sits in a £200 million investment in the housing and local facilities around, and a much bigger investment still in the housing of the whole area. And that is a huge vote of confidence, as I say, in Manchester. There's a lot of exciting things happening at the moment in Manchester. This morning, actually, Richard and I and Nancy here from the University of Manchester were talking about big science investments in this, the first great science city of the world, about how we're going to bring big new institutes to Manchester to discover the things that are going to create jobs and investment in the future. But of course, it's not just science, and as I think Khaldoon rightly said, Manchester is the footballing capital of the world, and this will ensure that it goes on remaining here, and it creates not just huge entertainment for people and passionate loyalties for people, but also a huge amount of jobs for this great city. And so it's a fantastic investment in Manchester, and I think the way you've involved and engaged with the local community, not just in building the facilities, but also in providing education, leisure facilities, and football training facilities is great. The final thing I want to say is, and use this as an opportunity to make an announcement, which is we've got to, as a country, I think, do more to invest in our grassroots football. The facilities available here are sadly not matched in every town and city across the country and in every community. And so we're making a commitment today to a £50 million investment across our country in many more all-weather pitches, in more football coaching, so that all our communities and all of our youngsters have the opportunity to shine on the football pitch. I think this is an important step forward. It's something that the Football Association have recommended to us and we've taken forward as a government, because whilst it's clear we've got the very, very best football league in the country, in the world, I want to make sure that we've also got the very, very best national team in the world. And by investing in the grassroots, as you are doing here in Manchester, we're going to make sure that happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chancellor. Now, let's start the ceremonial part of our proceedings today. This is the formal bit. I would like to ask for the official plaque to be brought in, please. Now, while that's being prepared, we have a special treat for you. 3 of our football guests are going to come and join me. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the club's most decorated captain, Tony Book. Head of the Elite Development Squad, Patrick Vieira. And one of Patrick's talented players, Kean Bryan. Well then, Tony, it wasn't like this, was it?
It reminds me of Main Road. On a frosty morning, we used to come in and wouldn't be able to go out on the ground, so we'd run up and down the steps of the stand to get warmed up, and then we'd go out on the car park and have a kick about. That's how it was in my days.
What do you think of what you've seen today?
Oh, it's just mind-blowing. You know, I'm pleased, you know, that I see Patrick here, you know, along with a young lad. I had the opportunity at the end of my career to work with young people at the club, and, you know, to have a facility like this, Patrick, you can't go far wrong.
Patrick?
I've been really lucky to play in some of the biggest clubs around the world. I've been traveling a lot. I've been seeing so many training grounds, but nothing like that. That is the inspiration for all the young boys around our football club, and that will push them to work harder and to be more determined to play in our first team.
Patrick, dare to dream for a moment. What could the future hold?
The future is really exciting. I think, like the chairman said early on, our under-14 won the league, under-18 won the league, our under-19 EDS doing really well. We have talent in our football club, and with the facilities like that, they will have a massive chance to be a top players and play in our first team.
No pressure, Kean. What's it like to come to work here every day?
Yeah, it's great to come to a facility like this and use it as your job every day. And some of the facilities are unbelievable and second to none. And that stadium over there, to play in that when it's open will be fantastic.
Good luck to you. Now it's time to invite the Chancellor, the Chairman and Sir Richard to join us here along with some extra special guests, the very youngest beneficiaries of this fabulous facility and all it has to offer. We have Alex, Brad and Daniel. Come on, boys. That's it. As we wait to reveal the plaque, a visible cornerstone and a permanent record of this very special day, I just want to tell you, it was made locally and it is inspired by the famous mosaic at Main Road, if any of you remember that. Who better to unveil it than our most decorated captain, though, Tony, I think Vincent might give you a run for his money, perhaps? Tony, if you would like to do the honours.
Mr. Chairman, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a pleasure and an honour to open the new Manchester City Academy.